Welcome to Season 4 of Trap Talk.
Brought to you by Craigoff, the choice of champions.
Hey folks, if you're wondering where you can get your merch, head on down to shop.traptalkpodcast.com.
Yes, folks, you can get hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts. They even have a ladies' tank, shooter's towels. We might have some new stuff coming out for the 2026 year. Who knows? Be prepared.
We got all the swag. Head on down to the website. Thank you so much for being Trap Talk supporters.
Thanks, everyone.
Hello, Trap Talk listeners. I'm your host, Zach Nannini. I'm here with my co-host, Richard Marshall Jr. We're having another good day. We're doing more podcasts. We're learning stuff, and we're having fun, and it's cold out here. It might not be cold by the time you're listening to this episode, but right now, it's cold.
It's frigid weather in the Midwest. Not in Florida where Thomas is, though.
Yeah, the good news is we figured we'd go down to Florida. We'd check out some warmer weather with our friend Thomas Harrington. He's the man, and he's going to tell us all about Florida, and we're excited to have you on the show today, Tom.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited to be here, and look forward to generating some hype for our state shoot, March 17th through 22nd at the Silver Dollar Shooters Club in Odessa, Florida.
Hey,
nice.
We all we do around here is hype. Shameless plugs and hype is Trap Talk. So
hype, yeah, everything. Yeah, and I wish we could attend. Well, Zach might attend. I will not be able to attend the Florida State shoot this year because the ACUI Collegiate Nationals starts on Monday, right after the Southern. So Tyler and I are actually flying to Florida for the Southern, and then we fly out. I think it's at 4:20 on Sunday afternoon. So literally, as soon as we're done shooting, we're heading to the airport because he starts competing on Monday for the for Lindenwood. So
okay, it's a shame you guys aren't going to be there because this is going to be a Florida State shoot like we haven't had in
I know,
a very long time.
I've seen the leather bag that was it Diamond 8?
Diamond 8, Randall, he hooked us up. We gave him creative permission to just
I
do his thing
on there.
Yeah,
I'm definitely considering staying now because Ricky's not going. So there's a lot more reason for me to be there.
This is what he does.
I get Ricky's calendar and I say, "Where's Ricky not going to be?" And that's where I go. I say, "I'll go there. It'll be fun." But no, really, I stayed last year. My first time going to the Silver Dollar for the Florida State shoot. I always go to the Southern, but last year was the first time that I stayed for both weeks and shot the Florida State shoot. And I was so pleasantly surprised with how well it ran, and also with the trophy package. I was lucky enough to win something, which I never win anything, but I won something. I won the
Did you get the doubles trophy?
It was a champion trophy. Can you believe it? It was
a nice one.
They gave this buckle for all the doubles for the week. They had 400 or 500 doubles. And I didn't even know that the trophy existed until I get to the last day. And they're like, "You got this trophy." And I go and I look at it, and it's this really, really nice buckle. And it was I guess it was a super doubles event or something like that. It was kind of like
Nevada started that a couple years ago with doing the total on the doubles, the total on the singles, the total on the handicap, which is cool because we did that years ago with the Martin Lewis. Mm-hmm. When Bill started that at like Tucson, but there was no trophy; it was just cash,
Quiche. So I think we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. I want to back up. Thomas, welcome to the show. What we want to know before we get into the Florida State shoot and the association and everything is, it's my understanding that you are the president of the association. Is that correct?
I'm the president. This is my second full year. I've been on the board of directors for many, many years, and there was an opening, and I thought I could help promote the organization and drive up some attendance. So I decided to take the leap, and here we are.
Which is what we need. This is what we need in shooting. It's because, Thomas, how old are you?
I'm 39.
39. So you're younger than me. I'm 51. Zach's 35 now, right, Zach? God, you're kidding. 34. You look older than that.
Hey, you know what? Rough years, bud. Rough years.
Has been rough on Zach. No.
Rough years.
But no, we need the younger people, and I'll say this: the under 40s, even the 30s, to get involved because you have a different thought process, possibly on stuff or whatnot, but to grow this sport and to keep it a hype in it, kind of like you're doing. I mean, I know you're doing some silver stuff. You're doing this bag deal, which we'll talk about, and that's the cool stuff, because if there's cool stuff to win, then people show up.
Well, yeah, and part of my thought process with it was that, it's obviously an expensive sport.
Yeah.
You put the travel, the entry fees, the ammunition, the firearms into it. It's not cheap, right? And what was happening, at least down here, what we saw was a lot of our tournaments. I want to say it was like status quo, right? It's the same thing year after year, and the value you were getting back was diminishing greatly.
Lower and lower and lower every year.
Right. And so one of the things we really wanted to try to do was increase that value. And if we couldn't do it directly through trophies, we wanted to add on dinners and add on other events and, bring the fun back to it. Was really the goal.
Nice.
Yeah, because a lot of people, I mean, if you think about competitive trap shooting coast to coast, a lot of people, first of all, don't have an opportunity to go to a satellite grand or the grand, right? So the biggest tournament for them, for most people, is the state shoot. So it's the pinnacle of their shooting in their state. I know many people that have never shot another state shoot other than the state that they live in, and that's kind of their end all be all. And that's fantastic. I think, me and Ricky have said this 100 times, supporting your state shoot, supporting the grand, those are like kind of the two things that we, you try to do as much as you can in trap shooting. For some people, it doesn't work out based on dates, or, I know for Ricky with the All-American team and with the other big shoots that he has to attend, he's not always able to attend his state shoot, but that's, that's different for everyone at every level. I love the fact that you got involved as a young person, and to jump and piggyback on what Ricky said about new thoughts and ideas. I think a lot of it is just technology driven. I mean, the things that the people know under 40 technology wise now that they're bringing to the table in trap is far more advanced than the systems and the processes that we've been using for the last 30 years of trap shooting. I mean, I've seen some clubs that are still figuring out Lewis's longhand, like they're drawing it out on a board.
Some clubs that are using the old DOS system. So,
man.
The good news is you don't have to worry about Russia hacking that system, right? I mean, you can't hack that.
No.
That thing is bulletproof, right? So
there ain't no pennies missing there.
Yeah, nothing getting skimmed on that deal. But so Tom, to circle back, what is your connection to trap shooting? When did you get involved in shooting yourself? And then when did you decide, hey, I need to make a shift from a shooter to a helper shooter?
Yeah, so I was exposed to trap shooting with my father, like a bunch of us are, and it was probably about the age of 14. I actually started shooting trap, and a few years later got into registered, and I probably shot until I was probably about 20 years old. Right, you get to that point where life hits, and it gets too expensive for you to do as a young adult trying to make your way through life. And then took a couple of years off, and was fortunate enough to find my way back to it. And about 6 years ago, I was delegate for a couple of years. And then after that, just stayed on the board and stayed very active. And my wife, she's been it was just shooting trap the same way. Started with her dad. She did the All-American thing for a couple of years, and that's actually how we met about 25 years ago. Was through shooting, and then helps to have that connection and that hobby. And
well, together, right? You're sharing it together. You're doing it together. I mean, that means a lot because it takes a lot. And in the couples world, if you're going to be a trap shooter and you're gone a lot, I mean, it's nice to go with someone that actually wants to do it with you, wants to be around it and wants to experience it and can spend the week at the shoot. Because unfortunately, I mean, as much fun as trap shooting is, sometimes there's a lot of downtime where if you're in Ackley, Iowa, it's like Florida's a whole nother story. We can talk about the times that I've taken Ricky down and we've had seafood at the sponge docks and introduced a new cuisine. I mean, that's a lot of fun, but there's a lot of places that you go to in the country where you don't have all this
No.
extra activity available to you like you would at the Silver Dollar.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The Tampa area is incredible. You've got everything. You've got theme parks. You've got the water, beaches, fishing, you name it, it's here.
Good liquor stores.
There you go.
Ricky's, 5 years ago, Ricky didn't even know what bourbon was, and now he's an aficionado that has every liquor store in the country mapped out. I mean, he's got these guys on first name basis when it comes to bottles.
I met some great people at actually First Avenue Liquor down in St. Petersburg, South. It's like an hour from the Silver Dollar, I think, or 45 minutes. But they have a little
Yeah.
speakeasy in the back. And I met some great people, and people that were actually shot clay targets, but didn't compete. They just did it for fun. There's another gun club down there somewhere that they
Tampa
don't
Bay
shoot any-
Clays.
Yeah, well, there was none that didn't shoot any registered-
Skyway.
Well, there was
Skyway.
that one, but then there was another. It must be a private deal. The guy said they had a couple trap fields, and he's like, "We can
Okay.
go there tomorrow." I said, "Well, I'm teaching, so I wouldn't be able to." But it was really cool, and that's the one thing about the whole Tampa area. I mean, I'm a New York Yankees fan. I've been a Yankees fan since I was a little kid. So every year during the Southern Grand or the state shoot, when I would stay down, we would always go to spring training games.
Rick, the only thing that looks better than these hats we're wearing right now is a bunch of gold and silver from Ron Prescott at Mid-State Precious Metals. Show them the goods.
Listen, all I got silver right now. I won't bring the gold out for Zach, but
I always want to get that gold.
shotgun shells, 10-ounce bars, folks. He can do anything for you for all your shoot needs. Give Ron Prescott a call. MidstatePreciousMetals.com.
He's a great guy. Support him. He supports all the shoots. He supports Trap Talk. If you're thinking gold or silver, you need to be thinking Ron Prescott at Mid-State Precious Metals. Thank you, Ron.
That's right. Thanks for all the support.
Rick, when you're riding around in your air conditioning and your nice Can-Am and I'm walking, I'm thinking to myself, where do I get one of these things at?
Big Red Motorsports. That's where you get one. George or Jason Lee, they'll take care of you, Zach.
I mean, I need one. I'm tired of riding on the back of that cooler. I want to sit inside that cab and roll around in style. I mean, my face is on the back, but help me out.
Listen, I'm going to move your face to the bumper is where it's going to get moved for the new one, okay? All you need is a little quiche, and we can take care of you. But listen, BigRedMotorsports.com. Thanks, Jason and George Lee and Big Red Motorsports for all the support. They'll take care of you, folks, and it's free delivery. Yep. And I've taken Trey and Tyler when Trey was able to travel with me before he graduated high school and moved out. But even like when we go down, Tyler and I know there's a game. I have to relook, but I think it's Tuesday night. It's like 6:00, and I'll get tickets for that game because it's just cool to go do other stuff rather than just shoot.
Right. Especially if you're there for the full 2 weeks doing
Absolutely.
both tournaments.
Yeah.
There's plenty of stuff to get your mind off of it for a little bit and reset.
Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
And one thing about the Silver Dollar, I've been going to the Silver Dollar since I was 21. So I'm 51. So almost about 30 years roughly that I've been going down there and shooting. And my first time ever being there was I actually went with Lucky Nightingale. And,
oh, wow.
and Quentin was his real name, but Lucky was president of the ATA, and he lived over in the Eagles. That first year, I stayed with Lucky and his wife at the time, Bev, in their house at the Eagles, and it was cool. So I got to see two sides of it, with the Eagles and then the Dollar, and then it was like, oh, there's golf courses here. So every time we go down, I try to go out and play at least 9 holes of golf if I can. But I always, my buddy, which JT Spangler, lives down there, and JT golfs all the time. And, he's always talking about it's a great place to actually come because you don't have to shoot all the time. There's 27 holes of golf on the complex.
Yep.
So for everybody that wants to come down and shoot the Southern and stay for the state shoot, even though does the state shoot start on Wednesday or Tuesday?
Tuesday. So there's an off day Monday. We do open registration and classification at noon usually on Monday for the state shoot.
Yeah.
But you do get an off day.
Yeah, so there's time, go with the family, do something. Or for everybody that's coming in, say they're just going to come in for the state shoot, just come in and maybe come in on Saturday. Go do family stuff Saturday, Sunday, Monday, start shooting Tuesday on,
Yep.
Now, are you shooting at the state shoot? Is it 200 targets a day? Or are you shooting
So the
300?
first day, Tuesday, is going to be 300 targets, and then it's 200 targets a day. After that, our HOA is 1,300 targets total.
Okay.
Something interesting we're doing this year. You have those guys that want to shoot doubles every day.
Yeah.
And when you're shooting 200 targets a day, you don't always have that option.
Yeah.
So we're running separate concurrent events that we're calling them walk-up doubles. They're sponsored by Winchester. They're providing ammunition as the trophies. And you sign up, and when you have extra time, you just go walk up to the practice traps where we're throwing it. You shoot your registered targets, and at the end of the day, that's when we'll divvy out trophies for it.
Interesting.
Cool.
So is that not included in the overall then?
Those two events, it's 5A and 7A, which would be on Wednesday and Thursday. Those two would not be included in the HOA or our super HOAs.
Okay.
They're just standalone little registered doubles events.
Just for people that want to
get more targets in.
Yep.
You get more targets in, get an
exactly.
opportunity at some trophies and have some fun. And I know a lot of people, for the folks that haven't been to the Silver Dollar, this is a fabulous facility. What? Oh, missing out. I thought you said I was cutting out. I thought you said I was cutting out. Oh, damn, I got to check the internet connection. So if you haven't been, you are missing out, because the reality is you've got a fabulous, lush facility, two sides, two gun clubs. One side's the shooter side, one side's the golf side. One side, you basically have a clubhouse, traps. The other side, you have a clubhouse, but you also have golf in front of you, which depending on the day, can be a little distracting, especially if they're wearing their orange polos out there.
I'm going to tell you, just like I tell JT Spangler, why are you looking at them for? Look at the target.
I honestly don't, but I know a lot of people that it's affected, and I'm sharing the story. But the reality is, this is a great gun club. They've got a lot of amenities there. They've got great lunch and breakfast on the facility all day long on both sides.
Both sides have a restaurant.
You can get a meal anytime you want. It's golf cart friendly, obviously, because there's a lot of golfers, so it's easy to get a golf cart and be able to go from one side to the other. And they throw a great target, weather permitting, right? I mean, the thing that's different about that place is, you might have a lot of wind one day and you might have, a rainstorm come in. But I think the hardest thing to deal with, in my opinion, is just the time constraints, because correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, there's a window of time that you guys are allowed to shoot because of the residents or because of the code. What's that?
There's a noise ordinance, local noise ordinance. So we have to be done by 8:00. We can't shoot till 9, and we have to be done by 8:00. And
that's why you can only throw so many birds in a day, because with shoot-offs and everything permitted, it has to end at 8 p.m. And so I know at the Southern Grand, at least a few times, I know those shoot-offs have carried over till Monday because, you just can't fit them in that night before, and that's...
Last year was a prime example.
Well, we had some bad weather on Sunday, and it delayed the handicap event. And I had to get finished up on Monday morning.
Yeah, because our doubles, we couldn't shoot off till Monday.
That's right. That's right.
So, and it was windy as heck on Monday.
That's one of those things where it's just unavoidable. You
can't do anything about the weather.
No,
you can't do anything about the weather. But at the end of the day, sitting here in Missouri right now when it's cold as heck, and I'm like, man, I wish I was in Florida right now. I mean, at some level, because you can get a little bit of sunshine and break away from this winter gloom that we're in right now and go get some fun in. And I guess I have seen a positive change just in the little things that you guys said you're doing, such as the super overall buckles, the, like you said, the bag, which I want to learn more about today. I mean, and if you have pictures of this, if you can email them to me so we can put them up on the show and show the listeners kind of what they've got. But tell me about the creativity between these super high overall buckles and the bags. Walk us through what you guys are doing and why. Rick, I just love having the peace of mind of knowing that if I'm traveling or I'm flying, something happens, I can get my Winnig and my Krieghoff replaced quickly and easily without costing me a bunch of money.
Yeah, exactly. The gun and trophy insurance, it's the best out there to insure your guns, insure your trophy animals, everything.
Thank you to the whole Cushman family for supporting the show and everything they do for trap shooting.
Absolutely. Get a hold of Cole Cushman, and he'll get you set up.
You know, Ricky, I know you use it on your barrels, but do you even know what RGS stands for?
No, Zach, what does it stand for?
Really good.
Well, that is true. It is good stuff, folks. I use it to clean my barrels, and it does make them shine.
Only problem is I wear white t-shirts when I clean my barrels and I get them all messy, so I got to be better at that, but it gets all the plastic, all the gunk out. Give them a try, folks. They're great.
That's right. Give RGS a try. We appreciate all the support.
You know, Rick, I know you had a lot of involvement with them since the beginning, since they started, but I really love the way that the shot tracker, catches the doubles from shot to shot with the looping. Tell the folks what they need to know about that system.
It's the best system out there. It's like having a coach on the end of your barrel, like we say, but going especially in doubles from first shot to second shot. You can see it on the graph. You can see it on video.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about that J hook with Sean Hawley and all them, I mean, it'll literally show that loop, and I think that's really powerful if you're doing it. They've supported the show since the beginning. They love trap shooting. They're great people. Give them a shot, folks. They make a great product.
Take Aim Technologies.
Hey, Rick, we got to take a second. We got to thank Outlaw Engineering and the Freston family for supporting trap shooting and supporting Trap Talk Podcast. They've been here for us. They're great people. You know them real well, Rick.
Yeah, I've known Randy since 1988, R2 and the family. They're a great supporter of the show. Coop just won the Autumn Grand Handicap Championship with a 97.
I know, I was there. I got to interview him. It was great. I was so proud of him. He's doing a great job. Hashtag where's Coop? He's somewhere with that big buckle. He's having fun.
Right.
That's right. You need anything engineering related, get a hold of Outlaw. They'll take great care of you. Great folks.
Thanks for all the support, Outlaw.
Yeah, so we're just trying to, find new ways to keep people engaged. Not everybody is going to win a trophy, right? But if you give somebody a chance based on a lucky draw or on a raffle or, stuff like that, then you're going to keep people coming back. And that's kind of the idea. Spread the wealth out a little bit, I guess would be the best way to say it. And so this year, the Super HOAs we did last year, they were such a success. We've actually added a separate category for just ladies. So there's going to be 3 ladies Super HOA buckles up for grabs as well.
Oh,
and
wow.
and they're Montana Silversmith buckles. So they're nice, beautiful buckles. And
it's a gorgeous buckle.
Yeah. We're always we're always just trying to think of ideas to give value back to the shooters. They're spending their hard-earned money with us, so let's do what we can to make them have fun.
Yeah. Well, that's what we need in the sport is people want to win stuff. And, it's one of those things is the state shoots, to be successful have to have attendance of shooters and not just in-state shooters either. Right. Out-of-state shooters is what makes up and makes for a great state shoot, and it
Absolutely.
is, you do have a hook of it's in March and most places in March in the Midwest, the weather is not, it can be horrible or it can be 40 or 50, but it's going to be 75 or 80 in Florida.
Right. Well, and we're fortunate to back up against the Southern Grand because we do get a lot of folks that come for the whole 2-week period.
Yep.
And I think last year our non-resident to resident ratio was about 60% non-residents and 40% residents. So one of the things we did too is we equal everything up. So if there's a trophy for a resident, the non-resident's getting that trophy as well.
Well,
so it's equal across the board.
Yeah, well, and that's what you want to see is them doing that because I have been to some shoots where it's resident champ and then non-resident. It's not a non-resident, it's open.
Right.
And that's where you'll lose shooters. And I understand, and I've had discussions with directors and they're like, well, you got to shoot better. That is true. But if you're making it all for your in-state, then fine, just have an in-state only shoot,
Right.
Well, it's just hard. It's hard because at the end of the day, if you're going to try to build your shoot and get the comp factors up, you need people from other states. So like a lot of state shoots, there's some states, an example, like, Ohio. Okay. Well, they have a lot of in-state shooters in Ohio. Well, not everyone can have primarily like California. California is primarily a shoot where it's more in-state than it is out of state because of the location and because of the time of the year and this, that, and the other thing. But a lot of states, it's 50-50, 60-40, 70-30 out-of-state shooters that are coming in to represent. And I'll take my hat off to you on those, super high overall buckles. I thought that they were only for in-state shooters. And when I won it and they said, no, it's for everybody, I'm like, that's really cool because, it gives someone from out of state a chance to come in and win something that's open, the same way that if you go to the Nevada State Shoot, that silver's open to everyone, regardless of in-state, out-of-state, whatever's going on. You're drawing everyone in because everyone has an equal opportunity and an equal shot at the title or the trophy or, the prestige. And you said it best, Thomas, people just want a chance. It's not like they're going to win all the time, but the opportunity to win and the opportunity to have a chance, I think that keeps people coming back more and more.
Yeah.
Yep. And one of the big things we did when I took over as president is we really started hitting up people for sponsorships and donations. And, we found that the majority of people will give you something if you ask. Now you're going to get a lot of no's. You can't be afraid to hear the word no, but we essentially in 2 years have tripled the amount of sponsorships we were able to obtain. And that allows us to give that much more to the shooters. Like this year, we're on Thursday evening, we have a catered pig roast dinner coming in and open to all the shooters and their
That's
guests.
fantastic.
So well, if Zach's there, he's going to have a +1. It'll be himself.
hey, I never turned down a free.
I know that.
I never turned down no free pig roast.
See?
Yeah, so we're doing that. Wednesday evening, we're doing a missing out, guaranteeing $1,000 in it, and then champion will get 400, second place 300, and so forth. Thursday night, we're doing our own variation of a silver shootout.
Okay.
Big shout out to Royal Sporting Arms. They're who sponsored it, and Ron Prescott with Mid-State Precious Metals hooked us up with the 10-ounce silver bars and the 5-ounce silver bar.
Nice. Ron's a great guy. Ron is, shameless plug for Mid-State Precious Metals. In this time of silver and gold prices going through the roof, I don't know if you've seen that lately, Zach.
Oh, I have. I've been paying attention.
Silver's at like 114 right now. Gold's at like 51.50, or it's
doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, no. We're giving away during our tournament. We're going to give away almost 200 ounces of silver, and if I dollar cost averaged it, we did really good buying this year. We're probably around the $40 an ounce mark.
Oh, good for you.
So the value that the shooters are going to get this year
is huge.
Is going to be unlike anything we've ever done. We're up to $60,000 essentially is what cash, trophies, prizes.
With the influx of the silver price, which is good. I mean, hey, that's what I bought a bunch of silver from Ron, last year, and mine was in the 20s.
Yeah. So I actually earlier this year, I guess it would have been 2025.
2025,
yeah. Silver had dropped temporarily and gone down under $30 an ounce, and we hadn't purchased any silver yet. And I called our board and I said, hey, we need to buy our silver now. And so, we bought the silver, and then like 3 weeks later, it started climbing.
Yeah.
So it really, it benefited us in that
big time.
We got in early, and now we're able to pass that along to the shooters.
That's being forward. That's thinking forward and setting yourself up and not being reactive, but being proactive. And, I've spoken with you a couple of times about it, Thomas, and you've seemed very passionate. You've messaged us and talked about, talking about it on the show and got ahead of it and said, hey, how can we do this? My hat's off to you. You're one of the people that is the catalyst to do that. We have this, the show, we do this, and, we didn't ask for anything from you guys other than just your time. And you'd be surprised how many people don't even ask. And like you said, if you ask for the donation, you get it. And, for us, we're just like, of course, like, why wouldn't we talk about it? But you'd be surprised that there's a lot of associations that unfortunately they're just sitting on their hands and they're just like status quo, like the same old thing. They change the year in the program and they hit factory reset and boom, the same trophies show up and the same thing. And it's like,
same option.
There's nothing exciting about doing it the same way for 10, 15, 20 years. and people get bored of it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's entertainment dollars and it's time. And if people are bored, they're going to go do something else that's a little bit better. And I like what you're telling me about the missing out. I like what you're telling me about the pig roast. I like that you've got a ton of silver to shoot for, that you guys got at a good value. So it's going to be a big value back to the shooters. And and just I like the idea of getting some sun in March when it's gloomy in the Midwest. I mean, that's the biggest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I do want to ask you a question. I know primarily, people can stay there at the gun club and eat most of their meals, and you guys got a lot of stuff going on, but you being there a lot, do you have any favorite restaurants or recommendations that you would give to our listeners that are local to the gun club if they want to hit a place up one night away from the gun club?
Yeah, there's a couple that come to mind. There's one, it's called the Florida Cracker Fish Company, and it's right on Ehrlich, off of Gun Highway.
Yeah.
And it used to be called Ballyhoo's, but that went out of business. And then so Florida Cracker Fish Company moved in there, and it's really awesome. They have live music in the evenings out on the deck, and just good Florida food. A lot of fried stuff, but a lot of it's good. And then the other place I'd recommend is down in the Sponge Docks, Rusty Bellies. Yeah, some of the best seafood you'll ever have.
Yeah, I love Rusty Bellies, and we go there every year, and I always get the seafood combo, which is it's like a seared piece of Atlantic or with salmon, and then they do it with the scallops and the shrimp, and they serve it with fingerling potatoes and some asparagus and a nice little sauce. And I mean, it is really good food. You do have to get there early, folks, because it is one of the places on the Sponge Docks that it fills up. But I think they have call ahead. They don't do reservations, but they do call ahead check-in, I believe, or show up and check-in type of situation. But for those of you that don't know, the Sponge Docks is a pretty famous little area down there. They call it Greek Town, where they've got all of these amazing Greek restaurants, and they've got all these little
shout out to Hella's.
Yeah, and we took Ricky down there and Justin and a few others, and I remember my first time going. The Martin family invited myself and a bunch of other shooters to go down there and eat at Hella's for the first time, and they obviously bought dinner because that's what they do. But I'd never experienced anything like that was so fresh and so close to the water, other than like California. But California is different because it's cold there. Like you don't go eat on the beach like San Francisco's like cold, and Florida beach water and the docks is a whole other experience, and the food is fantastic. I mean, that grouper down there, when you guys get it in season, the redfish and the grouper, that's the good stuff.
Yeah, hard to beat.
Yeah, the Hello's restaurant, I mean, I come down and teach, in December, which you were in that, and we always go, Mike O'Brien, my good old buddy from up north, and we always get a group with Dr. Kurt and his wife, and we go to Hello's, and we have the same waiter, it seems like every year. And it's just a great, if you like Greek food, which I do, it's great. And there, but also the Keystone Corner for sandwiches.
Yeah. Hard to beat.
I got everybody sandwiches on I think it was the next day in the class. And I was like, I don't want to go home now. But there, and then the Tarpon Turtle. I like the
Tarpon Turtle's fantastic.
Zach, have you been there to the Tarpon Turtle?
I think you took me to the Tarpon Turtle one night.
It was me and you and who else went? Was it Justin?
I don't remember, but I remember you taking me, telling me that there was some damn turtle we were going to eat at. And I said, what you know about turtle restaurants? And then we rolled up in there and I had the food and I'm like, damn, Ricky, you kicked in this time. I mean, normally I will say this, Ricky doesn't go out of the lines cuisine wise. He's more of a meat and potatoes American eater, but every once in a while he takes me to a place that's a little bit out of the lines, and I'm like, this is good. Like, because I'm the opposite of that. I'm not a burger guy or a steak. I mean, I don't mind a steak, obviously, but for me, I love authentic cuisine, whether it's Indian, Mediterranean, seafood. Like, give me some stuff that's out of the box, because I'm tired of the same old Cracker Barrel routine for me. But
well, if you're on vacation, why not eat something you wouldn't get somewhere else?
Yeah. I'm not a big chain guy.
Thing I will say about Florida. So one year when Trey and Tyler were with me down there, we were there for 2 weeks, and for the state shoot also. And we ate, I think it was 12 nights of like 15, and we never went to a chain restaurant. We ate all mom and pop, and we'd pick around, and and they were like, "What are we doing, Dad?" I'm like, "We're gonna go." And they're like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I don't know. Let's just." And it was, we never had a bad meal. But like you guys have, like another sandwich shop is the Lucky Dill Pickle Sandwich Shop on 19, and Zach,
I haven't been to that one.
You haven't been to that? Thomas.
No, I haven't been to that one.
It's literally, it's south on 19. I'm trying to think close. I think it's north of Nebraska Avenue because I'm Nebraska, but I know it's north of there. But it is a sandwich shop where you can get like a pastrami sandwich, and it's literally like this big. It's so thick. And
we're getting into food tonight. I mean, this episode just got taken over. I feel like I'm on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives now. I mean, we're talking about
here's the deal. We need to talk about this stuff at shoots for people. We get them. We entice them. There's some little food out there.
I will give a shameless plug. I don't know what the name of it, and you probably know the name of it because it's in your guys' program.
Well, you can't give a shameless plug if you don't know the name, you idiot.
He'll know. There's a pizza place that it's in the program that delivers to the gun club. Delicious.
Probably Three Brothers Pizza.
That's it.
Three Brothers.
That's it.
Yeah, that's phenomenal pizza.
I was there with Wyatt last year, and he was hungry. He's like, "I'm hungry," and I'm like, "I'm hungry too." We ordered a pizza to the gun club one day, and that Three Brothers, I mean, they have the authentic pepperonis, not the big ones, but the little ones that like cup up when you bake it. And I'm like, this is some New York energy I've got in this pizza. I didn't think I'd find a pie like that down there in Florida, but they're producing the goods for sure. So I'm really excited. I love the silver. I love the trophy packages that you guys are doing. You set a great target, weather depending, obviously. You can only do so much if you're dealing with a windy day or, it's starting to rain on everybody. But all in all, that's about as good a targets as you're going to find in March anywhere in the country, right there at the Silver Dollar. And if you pay attention in the wind, they're definitely very, very breakable.
Yes.
And it's usually a consistent wind. So that makes it a little easier. But March, if you're there for the full 2 weeks, you're probably going to have a day where, it's going to be sporty, but, all probability there. Yeah. But for the most part, Silver Dollar does a fantastic job. Diane is the manager, Diane Foster. She's the manager of Silver Dollar now. And she's bringing a lot of new energy to the gun club as well.
She does.
Same thing. Oh, yeah. She's working her tail off. And she's putting in similar type work to what we're doing. Yeah. And so it makes working with them super easy. We obviously know they can run a good tournament.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting along and trying to give the shooter the best experience they can have.
Yeah. So I do want some clarity on that. You guys are the association, and then Silver Dollar, correct. Did they pretty much like give all the facility and the help and the scores and all that, or do you guys have to source that for that shoot? Like, how does that work for the state shoot? I just love the way they're covering all the shoots across the country, the content, the pictures, what they're doing online, what they're doing on Facebook, Instagram. What do you think?
Yeah, Trap Shooting USA, it's a great magazine. They are the official magazine of our podcast, and we are the official podcast of Trap Shooting USA. So we really appreciate it.
That's really cool. And what they got is a deal right now. If you put Trap Talk P in for the print version and Trap Talk D for the digital version, it's $19.99 for the print and $9.99 for the digital for 1 year. You're not going to find a better deal. So subscribe today. You won't regret it.
Absolutely. Thank you for all the support.
Rick, I was at the Autumn Grand and the Nevada State shoot, and I was just really impressed with how I could see where my squad was, when I was up, just the technology, the ability to be able to see what options I've played, if the event's paid or not. I mean, what's your experience with the app?
Listen, SOS Clay's app, it's the best thing out there, folks. You can see everything. It's great. You can see your option payouts. You can see when you're up. You can see who's paid on your squad. Sometimes Zach doesn't pay on time, but it's okay.
I get out there. But what I really think is for gun clubs, it's free. Call Greg, get a hold of him. He'll set you up. He'll get you running right. And if you pay the premium, once a year, you get free pre-squatting in all the shoots, and that's the best value in trap shoot.
Absolutely. SOSclays.com.
Rick, I really think that gun fit's probably the most important part of shooting big scores. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think gun fit is the most important thing.
I mean, most of the top All-Americans are shooting custom stocks. I know when I got my custom stock, my scores went up. I broke 100 straight from the 27 within 7 days. I mean, I'm sure your experience has been similar.
Yeah, I've been shooting a custom gun stock for 20 years. Winnig, if you want to win championships, get a Winnig gun stock.
Yeah, call Bobby, call Luke. I mean, we got the Stock Whisperer over there, Bill. Give them a shot. They're great, and they know what they're doing.
Absolutely. Winnig.com. Check them out. Hey, Zach, have you been out to 73 Pointers Ranch lately?
You know, I have. Rick and Carla Burke have been great. I normally hunt pheasants and chucker down there, but now they got a brand new sporting clays facility, and it is top notch. I shot it the other day. Absolutely loved it. And if you guys haven't, you need to go give it a check out.
Well, I'll have to come out and do a little hunting, and we'll shoot some sporting clays then.
45 minutes from St. Louis Airport. Come see it. If you haven't, guys, check them out.
So they handle the labor, the target setting, the cashiering. We essentially administer over the tournament. You know, they're a for-profit company.
Yeah.
So we just take. Yeah. So you know, they're a for-profit company, so they take what they need to run, and then you know, we get a small percentage, and that's what we use to buy trophies and, you know, run the rest of the tournament with. So
Absolutely.
it's definitely a unique situation. A little weird for us, you know, real estate's too expensive in Florida for us to ever have a home grounds in reality. But we're fortunate to have that facility and be able to utilize it.
Yeah.
No, it's a great one. I mean, it's one of the famous gun clubs in the country that if you haven't been to it, you got to put it on your bucket list.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's certain places, you know, we talk about these gun clubs, and there's some gun clubs where you're like, okay, I'm there, and it's just another gun club, and there's nothing special about it. By no means, Silver Dollar is very special. It's a very unique place. I don't know if I've ever been anywhere like the Silver Dollar.
No, not a shooters club that has everything like it does. And it's been around. I don't remember what year it was built. I got pictures actually of the club, I think when it was just on one side, because Bill Jacobson
built side was the original side.
Yeah. Bill Jacobson built it. And, you know, his idea was to have other things, and the golf, you know, started with 9 holes, then went to 18, then to 27. That's why there's 3 9-hole courses. What are they? The Gator, Bobcat, and I can't remember the other one. Gator, Bobcat.
The Ricky course. I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever
but they're all animals of Florida, but it is an awesome place.
The tortoise.
There. No, it's not. Here goes Zach. You're going to call it that Nanini.
I don't golf, so.
Yeah, I know. Zach cannot hit a golf ball. Neither can Rich Bullard.
Me neither.
We'll talk about that. I got some free golf balls from Rich Bullard down in Florida one year.
So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I think, you know, you guys, you know, Tom, you're obviously leading the charge as the president, and you're doing proactive things. You're letting the shooters know, hey, this is what we've got. This is what we're giving. This is the presentation, you know, and the Silver Dollar runs a good shoot. So that's one less thing. And I think, you know, that's a pro and a con in some places, because sometimes the state association wants to run their shoot completely and they do a good job, and sometimes they screw it up. I kind of like the idea that the Silver Dollar is just like, you guys could say, hey, this is what we want to do, and it's executed. Like, it's done.
Exactly.
And you don't have to like be in the mix of it, because, you know, the one thing, I was on the board of the Missouri Trap Shooter Association, and as a director, it was hands-on. And what I mean by that is the directors were setting the targets, the directors were cashiering, the directors were, I mean, so it was all volunteer basis, but it's like, you got people that are all there trying to shoot the state shoot, and it's their big event. And then I'm setting a field,
working your tail
and
off.
then I'm going to shoot, and, you know, Marvin Buhner's cashiering, and then he's running off to go shoot. And it's just, it's hard. And I see the value for the association to save the money so that we can have actual home grounds, which Missouri is very thankful to have, a home grounds that we have control over, which is awesome. But for the shoots,
the youth owns the Missouri home grounds, the youth association.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a situation where that facility is in perpetuity and it benefits the association to do the work,
Do
versus to,
hire it out.
hire it out, if you will. But as
Right.
as someone that's been on both sides of it, I love that you guys can focus on the creative and focus on the trophies and focus on the stuff that brings the shooters in, and let the gun club run the gun club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
cool.
it's a big benefit to us, and our board, they're great, they're very engaged, and our secretary treasurer Scarlett, she's fantastic when it comes to running the day to day, scheduling all the other shoots and handling all the business side of the association, and Vice President Scott Lauterbach, he comes up with a ton of great ideas, and one of them is actually he wanted to put in what's called the long run option
Yeah.
on the singles championship.
Okay.
And it's a high dollar option. It's about, I think, $50 is what we have it in there for. And literally the shooter that has the longest continuous run of dead birds wins the entire pot. And if there's a tie, it's going to continue into the handicap championship as a carryover.
That's salty.
Now is that long run front or reverse?
It's front. So from target
Make sure it's
one.
listed in there as front.
Yeah,
'cause you
longest
look at that.
continuous.
Well,
Yeah,
because
longest
continuous
continuous.
could be reverse. So I would say long run front. Just make it easy
you
for
go.
everybody, because someone will come up and Zach will be that guy. He'll be there. I know him.
Yeah, I
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a trap shooter thing there.
missed my
It
first
is.
one out around the 199, baby. I'm in.
There you go.
But
So yeah,
so- so-
Scott comes up with a lot of ideas like that, and we're going to see how well they're received, and if they work, we'll do it again next year, and if it doesn't work, we'll pivot and do something different. We're not afraid of change.
But I
No,
like
that's
that.
awesome.
It's pivoting and changing, because so many gun clubs are like, okay,
They're
well, what
stuck.
can we do to fix it? And then they're like, okay, I don't want to change anything. So like at the end of the
Right.
day, if you're in a position where it's stagnant or it's declining, we have to agree that change is necessary, right? So then you start
Absolutely.
changing stuff. Now there might be some changes that you make and they're like, oh no, that was a really bad change. Like you touch the fire and it burns your hand. You're like, that wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
But if you're not trying things, how are you going to figure out what people like and what people don't like? And I think that's where you got to get creative and
Exactly.
make your own state shoot, because you can't just mirror the same state shoot at every place and do the same thing. And then because then it loses its uniqueness, right? It has to be
Yeah.
unique to you guys. And I think like the pig roast, like you're not going to do a pig roast in Missouri, but it makes sense to think
Right.
luau theme pig roast in Florida. I mean, that's just smart. I mean, it's fun. So is there-
Utilize our kind of our theme.
Yeah.
correct. Is there other important topics or important things that you think the listeners need to know about the Silver Dollar or the Florida State Shoot or anything?
I would say if you're interested in coming, get pre-squatted as early as you can. Pre-squad turnout has already been really big. Our busiest day is Tuesday, obviously, because we're doing 300 birds. And, we do have a maximum amount of squads we can run through in a day. So, we're going to do everything we can to accommodate everybody. We want everybody to come and have a good time. But yeah, if you get on pre-squad and get your spot locked in.
Do you guys pre-squad through presquad.com or where do you guys do it?
Presquad.com. I'm not sure the exact date, but I think it's maybe the Sunday before the shoot. Pre-squad will lock, and then from that point on, if you want a squad, you'll have to use the Shoot Pro Cloud app to lock in your position.
Is it currently open or is it not opened yet?
It's open.
It's open. Pre-squad is open.
Pre-squad is open for the Florida State Shoot. You heard it here first, folks. So, Tom, it's been a pleasure having you on. We're excited to come to the Florida State Shoot and to see it. And I'm excited to see how it works out. Let's get some pictures of your guys' trophy packages and put it up for the listeners
sure.
to see and go from there. Ricky, is there anything we're missing today? Is there anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think we're good, honestly.
Yeah, I'd just like to add, last year we were less than 100 entries away from breaking that mold and getting into competition factor 5. So that's really our big push this year. We want to make
So
it
you're
to a
right
5.
there on the edge.
We're right there.
That's really reasonable and easy. And when people hear that, just so that you know, some clarification, the way the All-American team counts entries is they count entries per championship event in the singles, the doubles, and the handicap. So when you say we're 100 entries away, really you're 34 entries away in the singles, 34 entries away in the doubles, and 34 entries away in the handicap to making that a realistic goal, because it's a multiplier of those three events. So, that's only a few squads. So if that's easy to get.
That's what we're hoping. And, at some point we're hoping it kind of becomes self-sustaining, but we're not going to stop trying to innovate and, make it fun for everybody.
I mean, that would, if it became a 5, I think it would be that much more reason for people to stay for the both weeks, especially if they're All-American shooters.
Yeah.
They're going to say, well, I can't miss this because it's a 5 and it's a great shoot. And it's the Southern Grand and the Florida State shoot. I'm already here. I mean, a lot of the cost in the travel is getting wherever you're going, whether it's the plane tickets or the drive or whatever. So, and a lot of the times when you're booking these Airbnbs, they give you a much better rate if you're booking for 2 weeks versus 1. So, I mean, there's a lot of benefits to staying down there. And it seems like you guys have got a good situation. You're investing into the shooters. You're investing into your program. You're giving back as much as possible, and you're promoting. So, well, Tom, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today. I appreciate your insight. I appreciate the hard work you do as the president of the association, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you out there and having fun at this shoot coming up in March. So, for all the listeners today, like, share, subscribe, wear your Trap Talk merch proud. Ricky's got the OG hat on. You won't see him without that hat on, folks. That's his hat. He's rolling. And everyone, thank you for tuning in every Friday, supporting us and doing what we do and making this fun and making it worth the time. So we appreciate you, and we'll see you soon.
See you, everyone. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.